and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship Group 2 race taking place at Paul Ricard just outside Marseille. As you can see, it's quite a warm day. The air temperature is 28 degrees and the track temperature is 33 degrees, and hoping for quite an interesting race today purely because of the number of entrants. I think we're going to be in the just shy of 30 entrants today, all battling obviously for them first three places on the podium. I'll be with you for the course of the duration, and I'll try and keep the action highlighted wherever possible, just for obvious interest of the race. If there's anything I miss, anything you've seen that you want to focus on, give it a mention in the chat. If you want to shout out in the chat again, just do that and I'll find a suitable time when I can do that. As usual, I've got 3 screens on the go at the moment, so I've got to try and keep myself focused between the track, timing boards, the incidents, the cameras, the stream chat, and obviously make sure my OBS is working correctly. So, you know, it's difficult sometimes to capture everything. And if I miss anything, I do apologise in advance. Okay, so yeah, quite a few entrants on this one today. As I say, I think we're getting into the 28, 29s. Couple of people not in this race, which I have noticed, but obviously there's lots of reasons why people can't race. I think Kai has been unable to race this one, and I think Uwe is missing on this one as well. And at this moment in time, I can't see Nolan, Harrison Nolan. So I have seen him come online, so he might be joining shortly. That will take us to 28, and that's going to be quite, as you can imagine, quite a complicated grid. I am unaware of what the start instructions are. I wasn't involved in the pre-race briefing, so consequently I have no idea whether they're going racing from green or whether they're going racing down the Mistral Straight. Okay, so from this perspective, I will try and keep on focus with what's going on. And obviously I'll try and keep track of the cameras with the relevant drivers in there. I think the top 3 today is probably going to be a mixture of a couple of drivers that don't normally don't normally end up on the front of the grid. I noticed Peter LaFrance was doing really well before. He was putting some really quick laps in, as was Michelle. Mark Stevens was looking quick. Colombe was looking quick, and you know, so there's a few drivers there that I think might be a surprise today. One of the problems with this track, which I'll cover later on, is the tyre wear. And if anybody's watching the Formula 1 qualifying today, they actually mentioned it there. And there's a certain part of the track where it just chews your tyres up. And I think from the races we've had this week, I think you realise don't burn your tyres out early, because if you do, you will pay the price at the end. You know, in the GT4 race, there was lots of cars going loose, lots of cars going off. And I think the Porsche race was very similar, where the tyres just give up on the left-hand side and people going wide, spinning out, running off. And a few more accidents were starting to occur as obviously the brakes weren't working the same because the tyres just didn't have the grip. I think it's well worth thinking about your tyres, because you could make a lot of time up towards the end as people start struggling and fighting. So, a few hellos to the chat. Hi KB Smith Gaming, hi Derek, hi Terry, hi Nikos, and hi Dave Sim Racing Elite. Hope everyone's fine. As I say, quite a few people involved today. I will be doing a track lap today as well, a lap guide. I've tried to do that in car with someone, but I've done one outside and embedded it, so hopefully it'll give you a bit more of an understanding. And as again, I'll talk you through the track from my perspective. I appreciate there's a couple of quick drivers in the chat already. Their lines may well be different to mine. Hopefully not too far different, otherwise that's where we're missing a trick. Okay, so first of all, just a bit of a quick lap guide. Okay, so this is the start and finish straight, and the idea is to get right, and you want to be braking into the first corner around the cones on the right hand side, and you really want to take this as close to the curb as possible, obviously not overdoing it. And then this one you can ride the curb a bit and then get the power down onto this next little section, which does undulate a little bit. It does go down. You want to be braking just about here. Again, cut the corner within track limits and take this corner as much as possible Take this one as tight as possible and get the car just to keep the momentum going, and then get your foot down throughout into this next corner here. Track limits are quite tight in this little section here, but the curb on the left you can really take quite a lot of, and the track limits on the right there are very wide as well. The idea behind this piece of track is just get your foot down and go for it. If you're behind someone, you will get a tow from anything under half a second, and you might just get them at the end of the straight. So consequently, it's always in your interest to get someone very, very close at this point, and you should just get the inside line if they're not running defensive at the end. As you come to the end, drift left and then start braking once you're on the curb. Again, you can take this round in 4th or 5th depending on your car. Keep your power down, then brake. And then this corner, don't lose all the power straight away. Try and keep some of the momentum in as the corner starts getting tighter. And as you hit this bit, you can then put your foot down. Come into the last section here. Again, it's a bit of a tightening corner. You want to take a late apex as much as possible and get the power out. Again, observing track limits on the right there. As the blue strip appears on the right hand side, this bit here, again brake, drop it down into second gear usually, keeping to the curbs tight, and then what you want to do here is drop it down into first, take it as close as possible without riding the curb too much, and out again and put your foot down, and that's your lap complete. Okay, so that's really what the track guide's all about. It's just to give you an understanding of what's involved in a lap on this. Okay, so we're going to reduced qualifying again by the looks of it. Obviously I thought qualifying was going to be another 30 minutes, but it looks like we're running reduced qualifying over what's going on at the moment. So I'm going to jump on board with Kev Forrest, who's currently looking at pole. He is down. In fact, I'm going to jump on board with Chris. Chris is currently half a second up. That half a second will put him into a 156.7, 156.8, and that consequently that will give him provisional pole. I must say 157s and 156s are only times I can dream of. So from this perspective, I'm going to be somewhat jealous. I have managed a 156.9, but not much more than that. So obviously these are really quick laps. And Malcolm's just put a good lap in there as well. As you can see, come up with a decent lap time, as well as Mark Stevens. So Chris is coming down the Mistral Straight. He's still over half a second up. A few more welcomes. Hi Andy, hi Andreas. Welcome to the stream. We've now been joined by Harrison as well. Harrison's now made the 28th car up on the grid. But there's still a couple of people not present. So I reckon this grid could have been in the 30s, which would have, as I said, was a lot of cars to consider on a track. So Chris has lost a lot of time here. He's not going to make any further progress on this lap. Okay, who else is doing pretty well on a decent lap? We've got Rayner. We'll just jump on board with Rayner. He's currently 0.4 of a second up as we speak. He's in that little tricky section where he's got to get it right for the Mistral Straight here. He'll cut the corner, get the foot down and go for it. Yeah, he's lost a bit of time, but hopefully he's going to get a bit of time back on here. He did take that entrance pretty well from the original loss of drive then. But let's see how this goes. Mark Stevens is very similar lap time to his previous lap time at this moment in time. Chris Barr again is 0.2 of a second up, and as I said, Rayner is 3/10 up at this moment in time. That 3/10 will probably push him into 5th, possibly 4th, we'll see. He's gained a little bit of time here, so it's all about this corner and this tricky section and getting it right. So this section he's just gone through, this is the section that kills your tyres. Your two left-hand side tyres will start to heat up, and that's where you've got to be really careful and monitor your temperatures. You know, it's do too much and you will just kill them for the rest of the race. But in some respects, it's easier to think about what angle do I want to take on the corner. Do I want to be aggressive, less aggressive, just to ensure you get through the race on a decent set of tyres. He's currently 0.7, 0.8 up on a lap here. He's lost there on the corner. He's down to 4/10. Yeah, this is going to move him up a couple of places, I think. And yeah, that's took him up to 6th. So Mark Stevens again is on a fast lap. We'll jump on board with him. 156.8 is his best, and he's 4/10 up. He's lost a bit there. That bend does make or break you. He's still up. Looks like he's gone slightly faster. Yeah, 156.7. So that was, again, a really good lap. But at the moment, Terry is leading the leaderboard. Sorry, it scrolled off the screen because there's that many cars on the grid now. I'd realised there was no scroll bar. So you've got Terry, currently provisional pole, with a 156.6. We've got Mark Stevens in second with a 156.7, and we've got Kev Forrest with a 156.9. Then we've got about 7-8 cars in the 157s, and then the majority of the other cars up to position 20 in the 158s. Hi Stefan, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I was saying the same, Terry. Group 2 and Group 3 are quicker than the laps I've been pulling out recently. So I did manage to do well on the GT4s, to be fair, but yeah, the GT3 is a bit of a different beast. So yeah, just let's have a look at the timing board as it currently stands. You can see the timing board there. You can see we've got Lee Ellis has joined the crew as well. Now he's within the top 10. Don Queen, who's been quite consistent over the last few weeks. Daniel Garvish, who's quite a new addition to the group. As you can see there, he's making out the top 10. And then we've got Hugh van Vassenhove, Bruce, Daniel and Jeremy. Okay, so that's given us the top 20 places as it stands at the moment. So where's that going to leave us? We've got 2 minutes to go in qualifying. There's not many people out on the grid at the moment. Mike Dearlove's on a fast lap. We'll just follow Mike Dearlove and see how he's doing at this moment in time. He's 7/10 up. That'll put him into the 157.6, which should put him in the top 10 if he can keep it together. Looking very good, this. Mike Dearlove's going to go right up to... Is he going to do it? Okay, that must have been an invalid time, unfortunately, because that hasn't registered that time. That's a bit of a shame. He was absolutely on a flyer. For the last corner, he must have, unfortunately, done something on track limits, because he was significantly up. Don Queen's going quite fast at the moment. He's looking like he's going to be in the 156s. I'm just going to switch across to Don Queen. He's nearly a second up, 9/10 up. He's now a second up. And his best was a 157.663. He could take provisional pole here if it all goes to plan. No, he's lost a bit. He's going to be second, I think. Yeah, Don Queen's gone into second place with that lap time of a 156.7. So 156.6 is pole, 156.7 is second, a 156.7 is third, and a 156.8 is fourth. That's the top 4 being split by, you're talking, 2/10, which is absolutely, you know, fantastic racing. Yeah, Stefan, it's a good observation that you've got a couple of things there. That corner, if you ride the curb too much, you can't get the grip down, and it will force the back round a little bit. Likewise, if you go too wide, you can't get the traction down because you're riding the sausages. So you've really got to try and take that last corner as clean as possible to keep the traction going. And obviously, if you've got very low traction control set as well, or should I say a high number, that's just going to exacerbate it a little bit more because it's just not going to put the power down as quickly as you want it. Who's out on the grid at the moment? Willie's. Yeah, most cars aren't out at the moment. Everyone's currently sat in the pits, as you can see. It shows Malcolm's out, but he's not doing anything at the moment in relation to his lap time. Chris Barr, I think. It's showing. I think he's in the pits actually. I think everyone's settled down now for the race. Wolfie's doing 154s, Craig. He was on my server. He did a 154.7, and I just thought to myself, it might be time to quit. Because when you're doing that sort of time and you're in the 157s, you're thinking, this isn't a race, this is a destruction and a demolition. But, you know, I'd love to know what the secret is. I don't believe it's all car setup. I think it's where you brake, how you brake into the corners, where you put the power down out of the corners, and all them just give you the little tenths here and there. I like quite a sturdy car, so one of my issues is having it sturdy means it's not loose, and they always say a loose car's quicker. Saying that, I do wring the neck of it, I think it's fair to say. I'm sure you can practice and watch the stream, Craig. Keep the viewing numbers up. Okay, so we've still got a couple of cars out on track by the looks of it, but the more and more of them are currently pitting, I think. Yeah, the last few are just coming over the finish line now. Okay. I think what we'll do, we'll go to the intro. And hopefully I've included the right intro. Got the wrong intro. My apologies in advance. Okay, welcome back. As I said, I got the wrong intro there. My apologies. You get the point. Instead of saying GT3 Cup, it should have just said GT3. And obviously for Group 2 as well. So, yeah, Terry Howard in pole. Don Queen did get second place. I did say he was on a bit of a quick lap. Mark Stevens in third. Kev Forrest in fourth. Malcolm Hutchin, fifth. Michelle Benshea in sixth. Chris Barr in seventh. Daniel Britos in eighth. Rainer Berger in 9th, Bruce Hopkins in 10th, Lee Ellis in 11th, Daniel Garvish 12th, Hugh van Vassenhove 13th, Jack Jacobs 14th, PJ Vitala 15th, Jeremy Arabas 16th, Mike Dealove 17th, Peter LaFrance 18th, Richard Columbe 19th, Thierry Ars 20th, Robert Abando 21st, Andy Lees 22nd, Peter David 23rd, Ruben Monsanto 24th, Harrison Nolan 25th, Melvin Garland 26th, Willie Owens 27th, and on the back of the grid is James Parks. So as you can see, quite a lot of cars to consider here. I'm hoping for a clean opening lap, but we shall see. I'm going to leave it on Helicam just for a little bit, obviously just so I can keep track of hopefully the action. The start's very difficult to keep track of replays because inevitably I'm going to say there's usually lots of them. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case today, and you know the incidents are going to be far and few between. Well, they should start moving any second now. So I'm currently riding on board with car 67, which is Kev Forrest, which is the red and white Audi. So you can see both Kev and Malcolm. Malcolm is in the white and blue Audi. Very, very similarly matched on pace, both in the Audis. But you can see the dominant car in that lot. It's pretty clear it's the Ferrari. Hi, Stefan. No, it doesn't. There's no way of showing all the car. It shows the car badges, but that's the best you've got, unfortunately. And the racing from the green. Off we go. So let's see how we navigate the first part of the track. Hopefully everyone's going to take it easy and there's no slam dunkers into the back. Yeah, back looks okay. Couple of bumps on the start, but I'm not seeing anybody being disabled. I'm just going to jump down the back a little bit. Again, nothing going on to there. Couple of cars getting close. I think this corner's going to be interesting. Is everyone adhering to it? Everyone looks like they're adhering to it. I'll just jump down a bit further. And again, it looks like we've managed to get off the start with very few incidents. So let's go straight back up to the front of the track and see where we're up to. So there's already a couple of cars stretching the legs. Kev's actually made some good progress already. From here you can see Kev's got himself into second place, but Don Queen is looks like he's managed to put a bit of space between him and the car in front. Okay, I've just pressed insert there. It doesn't actually change the view because I'm in broadcast mode. All it'll show you is the gaps and the running list. So unfortunately, that's what you're stuck with for the time being. I will switch to the tower at the relevant points in time. Okay, so yeah, everyone's currently looking clean. Everyone's coming off the final straight there quite quick. Yeah, a very good start that, Andreas. Totally agree with that one. Jonah's Group 1 guys how it's to be done. I'm just going to jump down to the back a little bit because there's still a couple of cars here that are relatively bunched up together. I think PJ was quite close. Bit of action going on here. You see there, PJ's managed to take the inside of Bruce there, I think it is. Everyone's still battling. Let's see how the start-finish straight looks. Still very clean at the back as well. So let's jump forward because I think there's a bit of action here as well. I will ride on board with people in a bit. Just obviously just want to get the high-level view out of the way where there's a lot of cars in display at any point in time. PJ's giving, as you can see there, I think that's Daniel Britos, a good run there. I envisage there's a possibility PJ is going to actually end up doing a bit of a pass on Daniel here. So we'll ride on board with PJ. I'm keeping my eye on the times up front just in case. So if he's within a certain gap time, which is the 0.4, that should give you a bit of a draft. Now the problem here is has Daniel got a draft as well, and I think there's a possibility Daniel might have a draft, which does make it harder for PJ to gain on him. And as you can see, it looks like Bruce is coming down, screaming behind PJ. Looks like Bruce is going to take the inside. Yeah, he's got the inside line. Who's going to break last? Nice bit of racing. That's a good overtake, that. Good start. Again, the tricky corners coming up, and you can see Daniel Garavish is Peter LaFrance is giving Daniel Garavish a bit of pressure as well behind these two cars. So just step back a little bit. I'll jump on board with Peter. As you can see, Peter's also under pressure from Hughes, and we just ride on board again with Peter at this moment in time. So up front, Don Queen's managed to pull out. Looks like a bit of a decent run. As you can see there, Kev's just put a quickest lap in of a 158.2. So Kev's currently the fastest man on the track, and he's obviously aware that Don's trying to run away up front. According to this, it looks like Michelle's also done a fast lap as well. Yeah, in fact, Michelle and Kev did identical 158.212s. So very good lap times for the pair of them. Is Peter going to take Daniel, do we reckon? There was a bit of a collision before, which I did miss. Car 667, which was Peter David. So it was obviously towards the back of the grid. It's only shown up one car, so that indicates it was a very minor contact, and it only registered with one of the vehicles. You can see here, and I think Hugh's going to get a bit of a good draft here. Yeah, you can see that's but Peter's defending the inside line, and I think Hugh's getting a good run from behind Garavish there. Be quite close, quite tight. Again, really good driving there. I think Peter defended really well there to stop Hughes from coming up and gaining the position. You can see a car's just gone wide there behind. Mike Dearlove's just gone wide, and that's given the position to Robert by the looks of it behind them. Again, it's still bunched up a little bit, We do have a car right at James Parks. Looks like he had a bit of difficulty off the start. He's currently in last position, and there's a bit of a gap there as well in relation to where he is in associated with the drivers. But the action's still very much going on. I'm going to jump on board with Kev, because obviously I know there's a bit of action going on here with the cars in front and that. I'm going to jump forward in a minute just to the leaders and just see how they're going on. Late braking going on here, perhaps? Okay, I'll keep an eye on that, because I think there's going to be an overtake here. Either PJ's going to get Bruce, or one of them's going to get Daniel, or, you know, something else could happen. There has been a bit of a contact further down. Jack Jacobs. Again, everyone looks like they've carried on going. Well, it does look like Jack Jacobs has struggled a little bit. So, unfortunately, I can't go back too far on that one. I was concentrating too much on the action here. No, it was a message on my phone which I've just switched off. Sorry, Andreas. No pizza tonight. I always forget to switch it off, and then I go bing bong. So no, I've just silenced it now. Schoolboy error on my behalf. Right, this is settled down, so I'm going to jump forward. Okay, I'm going to jump forward with Kev. As you can see, Kev is with Dom, and you can see the other two cars behind. But this is looking like a bit of a good battle. So let's jump on board. So let's do a last lap comparison of what these two were doing before. You can see Kev was, you know, a good 3/10 quicker, and it was the last sector on the last lap where obviously caused them a bit of an issue. It looks like a car went wide behind. That'd have been Terry. I think that means Malcolm might get a bit of a draft on him now. Yeah, you can see there, Kev's definitely the quicker in relation to the lap times of what's going on there. Let's just, yeah, Malcolm has took Terry behind. I've got a bit of action here. Obviously jumped on board with Dom from the Dom Queens from the rear. Current leaderboard tower is as follows. So it's showing the top 20 runners, and you can see the you know, the time, split times, who currently holds the last lap. Okay, we're currently on lap 5. The track temperature has dropped slightly, although the air temperature has gone up. The track temperature before was 36, it's now at 35. I don't think that's going to have any bearing on the race as it currently stands. I'm just going to jump behind on Malcolm, and you can see there's a couple of cars going on there. Run to the helicam on that and see what's going on. It looks like Mark Stevens and Terry are having a bit of a battle in the Ferraris here. These guys were quite close on the qualification, so it's only, you know, you can see they're going to be battling, and you can see coming up behind them is Chris Barr. Quite a few, I keep saying there's quite a few quick drivers, but they are quick drivers. They're all quick drivers. You know, don't think you can single any of them out. I'm currently with Terry, so let's go through his rear wing. See what's going on here. Yeah, they're both taking very similar angles. Be interesting to see what happens on the draft. On the Mistral Straight, they're quite close there in relation to each other. Yeah, a bit of action there. Obviously, some of them have got a better run out of certain corners than the others there. It's all down to where you get the power down. Someone's gone off, car 93. Harrison, looks like, let's just jump to that. That's been a bit of an incident. Car 93. Let's go to replay on that and see what's happened in relation to this. So hopefully I've not missed it. He's taken the curb very tight there. I've either missed it or something's yet to happen. There's been another accident as well. Right, so there's the contact there. Okay. So obviously try to take the inside line a little bit. Car 14, which is Mark Stevens, has also had a bit of an incident. So I'm going to see if I can show that one, if there's enough time to go back, and just show how bad how close the contact was on this one. Have a look. I don't know if I've missed this one, but we shall see. This the incident was between Mark Stevens and Chris Barr. I could have missed it already. Let's see. Or was it under braking coming into the bend at the end of the Mistral here? You can see Chris is gaining. Is Chris going to go for a dive down the inside? Not gaining enough though. No, I missed it. Looks like there's been another incident there as well. There's cars flying everywhere. Right, let's just go back 10 seconds of that. See if I can pick that up. No, it's not going to let me do it. 10 seconds was too late. There's a bit of bumping going on there. Completely missed all that, obviously. Yeah, don't know what's going on there, but it looks like someone really got out of shape. It now means Malcolm is in second place, half a second behind. And as you can see, Mark Stevens has dropped down to 12th, and he was quite close to the front runners in relation to that. So that's put him down the grid a little bit. Unfortunately, I can't see who actually caused that. I could only see the aftermath, so my apologies for that. There's just a lot come up all of a sudden. It's showing Stevens was involved in 3 incidents. 2 incidents were with car 4, which is Michelle, and 2 incidents with car 5, who was Chris Barr. Okay, so looks like hopefully things are going to settle down again. Now let's just jump up to the front. There is a bit of action at the back. Let's jump on board with these two. So this is Peter David. It's Harrison and Peter David. So Harrison's just gone wide again. Peter's in the grey, yellow, pink Ferrari, and Harrison's in the sky Ferrari. Looks like Harrison's having difficulty with grip. He seems to be leaving the track quite a lot. Let's jump forward. A bit more action here. We've got Jack and Willie having a bit of a battle. So Willie's in the front car. Looks like Jack's got a cracking run on him here. He's going to go up the inside. I would expect to easily take the inside line here. Probably pulled out a little bit too early there, but he's made the corner. A bit of a nice pass there. I'm sure if it gets logged, we'll have to look at it. Okay, let's look at what else is going on. So a bit further up the field, we've got a couple of cars here, which is PJ. Sorry, Jeremy. That's Jeremy in the gold Porsche, with Thierry and Richard behind. Cheers, Andreas. I think me and Willie are going to try that next week. You'd be logged in bold capitals. How to win friends and influence people, eh, Craig? Shout at them all the time. Yeah, it looks like Jeremy's making a bit of progress there. Just trying to see what the gap is up front. The gap's still only half a second between Kev and Malcolm. I'm just looking at where the battles are at the moment on the grid, and I'll try and keep focused to something. As you can see here, Jeremy's moved off a little bit. You can see this is Kevin and Malcolm. So Don's been passed. Let's jump on board and go to the dashboard and see him take it here. Cracking draft there, as you can see. And he's going to shoot up the inside, and I should imagine he's going to take it quite easily there. And you can see Don's behind, so there's obviously been another incident, car 216. Oh, it's Malcolm. 216 and 17. Didn't see that happen. Yeah, I've missed that again. It's only come up slowly on the display. Another incident there, 216. So let's just rewind back and see, because it's showing a couple of incidents that I didn't see or think I'd missed them. Unfortunately, the incident thing's showing really slow. All right, there was a touch there, very, very minor touch. That was obviously Don. Just trying to give him a bit of a nudge from behind there. So nothing too drastic, thankfully. It's not caused any car to go off. You can see Kev starting to stretch his legs a bit, and I think Chris Barr's just done the fastest lap out of everybody as well. I think Chris is starting to get the grit between his teeth, and he's in 5th place at the moment. Okay, again, I'm trying to find where the action is and homing into the action. Andy Lees looks like he's catching Robert. So you can see Robert's in the looks like Robert's in the BMW, and Andy's in the Ferrari. So I would expect, I mean, the BMW does seem to go really well on the straight. It does seem to be a little bit slower in the corners than the other cars. It'll be interesting to see whether Andy actually gets a good run on the Mistral Straight. Get that angle in well. He's got a good bit of grip there. I can see a pass coming up here. If he can keep the foot down. Get the toe. You can see the beamer. Naughty, naughty. Doesn't want to be doing that, does he? Four movements. Oh dear. I'm going to make the comment. I shouldn't. But I don't think that's fair. Shouldn't be moving multiple times. You're allowed one movement. And that I counted 1, 2, 3, 4 movements there. Which I think is, I think that's probably unfair, or, you know, wrong. And I think Andy deserves that position because Robert made it really difficult for him. And they're the things, unfortunately, that don't get logged as incidents, and there should be a penalty for that. I agree with you, Steve. There should be a penalty for that because that was 4. You know, you're allowed to move once, which you did. And I know he's trying to break the draft, Craig, but you can't do that. You can't switch left and right just to gain the advantage. So consequently, I think in that respect, you know, 1 movement is acceptable, 4 is not, because it's very difficult to pass someone as a result of that. I think Andy's got him here anyway. I think Andy's just going to start pull away a little bit. Okay, let's carry on looking. Currently no incidents to review, which is always a good thing. There's no contact with that one. Hopefully makes my job easier tomorrow. And I think Chris Barr is looking very close on Terry here. I think he might get him on the Mistral here as well. All depends on whether Terry gets a draft from Don in front. I'd expect the grunt of the VCR racing car of Chris's to eventually reel in the Ferrari, the Sky Ferrari. As I say, he's got a draft as well, making it really difficult. Yeah, he's not getting on at all there, so that's how the car setup. He's got a bit more downforce for the corners. But then again, the way that tail shifted then implied he doesn't. Yeah. So he's again still quite a lot going on between the 4 and 5 of them at the front. Chris is currently the lap holder. Current positions for the top 20. Let's do a bit of a lap comparison between Terry and they're comparing on laps. You see the last lap time wasn't much in it, really. You know, one was 158.4, one was 158.5, so there's not a lot in it there really. And there again a 158.3 and a 158.3, so they're matched pretty much consistently with each other there, which is good to see. I do feel there's going to be a bit more changes, and I can see Malcolm's gaining on Kev as well up front. Let's just jump with that one, because this is getting a bit spicy as well. Whoa, that was very close. See how this is looking. That looked like someone was lagging then, because the car seemed to be all over the place. I hope not. So we're going to see a car. Looks like there's a bit of an overtake going on. Further back. Yep. So we've got Terry challenging Don. But looks like Don's still, or Don's just passed it. But Chris is going for taking one of them there. That was a nice pass by Chris, that. That looks like Don went over track limits there as well. I don't know if he'll receive a warning for that. It's all about whether you're accelerating or not. Possibly Andreas, that could have been the netco, but you can see the car bouncing a little bit. So it may just not have had accurate readings of where the car was. So there's quite a few overtakes going on. Again, I'm looking down just to see where the close action is. Obviously, we've got action going on here as well. I want to try and give the field a bit of a run. Keep an eye on the times of these, because as you can still see there, Malcolm is still gaining on Kev by the looks of it. Peter's close to Daniel, and as you can see there, Mark Stevens is trying to come back up the run as well after the incident earlier on. The race does seem to settle down a little bit now as well, so there's I think there's fewer incidents going on. Nothing's come up recently in relation to incidents. Or is that going to be me in the kiss of death again as usual? Commentator's curse. I've got the feeling Peter's been behind Daniel for a number of laps and he just seems to be struggling to get to grips with the pass. Battle with Terry and Chris and Don is still going on. Chris is very close to Don. Just let's switch to that. Got a really good run here. He's not going to get the draft, unfortunately, so I think the Ferrari will pull away a little bit. He does need to get a decent draft here to pass him. You can tell if he's catching. Using the spoiler as a guide. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make it, though. Unless he's going to brake late up the inside. No, he's not. Don went quite wide there. Hungaroring in the rain. Hungaroring is a really good track, actually. Unless you're Mr. Dave Thompson, Sim Racing Elite. When I was racing there last with him, he was in first and I was in second. And his television stopped working. Which was to my amusement, but not to his amusement. But yeah, it's a very high downforce track, that. Not much in the way of a straight apart from the start and finish straight, but the rest of the track is quite tricky. Bit of a dive up the inside here. That was a good dive there from Terry. That's Terry taking Chris. So I think Chris might try and battle that one back. Then we got Bruce, who's trying to gain on Mark Stevens as well behind this lot. Further down. Sorry about that, Dave. You can see Chris is still battling here. So it'll be interesting to see if he manages to get him. Not many other close battles at the moment as close as this one. There's a couple of similar timescales and distance, but not much going on, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Obviously, I'm trying to keep track of the screen and the timings. Oh, he's overcooked it there. Has he hit the barrier? He's recovered it. So that was a freebie. I think from that perspective, Terry's he's back on track. And he's lost 2 places. That was a safe rejoin. So for comment for Terry there. At least he didn't go down the whole Mistral Straight off track. And did actually manage to keep himself in a relatively straight place there. Okay, so the gaps are starting to be still quite tight with Peter. Hugh is against Bruce here. He's got a good run there. Looks like he's going to take the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Or is Bruce going to manage to defend the line? Looks like Hugh's managed to take it there, so he's taking the better angle in. He should have a good drive out and allow him to keep the power down. Yeah, then he's coming to the tricky section. Again, I've not seen many go off here yet, so I don't think the tyres have worn down too much. Well, you can see there, Bruce has managed to take a really good line on the inside and make it stick. This is quite a good battle, this. I think it's fair to say. Another battle further down. Just switch to that a minute. There's Jack and Ruben. Again, not 2 million miles away. It's the end of the start-finish straight. It's coming to the start-finish straight in a bit. Get around here. Yeah, there's not much going on in relation to catching there, is there? Peter's right on. Oh, I was going to say Peter's right on Mark Stevens' Jaxie there, but as you can see, he's overshot it. These two are still at it. Has he managed to make it stick? He's took him in a good place there, actually. But it does make him vulnerable on the Mistral Straight. He's really going to have to get the power down, and you can see it looks like Mike Dearlove's joining the party. He's on a bit of a flyer at the moment. He's half a second up. We've done a wet weather race. We did it at the Nürburgring. That was really good fun, that. Jaxie's up your backside on your rear bumper. For those who don't know English slang, shall we say. That was Craig asking me to explain to the people who don't understand some English slang we may use. Yeah, I think Hugh's got the better of him here. Okay, where else have we got a bit of action? We've got a bit of action with Robert. He's catching Jeremy. So Andy Lees has took off. He's disappeared from these two now. So we saw Andy and Robert battling before. This is where the action seems to be at the moment. So let's go on board. See if we can get a good view of what's going on here from Robert's perspective. And see whether he's going to get Jeremy or not. Yeah, still not many other battles going on. We've still got Peter and Hugh, although Hugh is now ready to pass Peter. So I think there you can see these three are still at it. Went wide there. He's had to drop down a gear. But you can see the gap between them. It's quite close. Now Stevens is 2 places in front of these, so Stevens has managed to keep himself going. There he is, that's Stevens in the orange Ferrari. You can see Dearlove is now on Hopkins' tail, or on his Jaxie. Yeah, Andreas, a couple have done. I think Rage quit, to be fair. See, Stevens was gaining on Garvish. And Dearlove's right at, looks like he's very close to Hopkins. You can see it there. I don't know if he's managed to pass him, but he's giving Bruce a bit of a hard time. So Bruce seems to be dropping down the grid a little bit here. I'm just wondering whether he's got a tyre problem and his tyres just aren't set up and they're overheating. Because he has lost a few places. He was quite racy early on, but he seems to be losing a bit of time now. He's struggling in the... you can see he's struggling in the corners there. Don Queen's in 4th, if that's what you're asking, Stefan. Oof, that's very ambitious. If he makes that stick, or he's going to try and get the run up the inside. If he can get the drive. Yeah, I don't think there's a pass in there, is he? The gap between Malcolm and Kev at the front is still only half a second. I am keeping my eye on that just in case that changes. This is currently the closest battle. Right, there's been an incident. Driver 60. But it was these two, wasn't it? I missed that. I completely missed that. But obviously we're watching the stream anyway, so you guys would have seen that one. That did cause Bruce to go obviously off track. Don't know if he got hit then. Yeah, probably was a crazy send, to be honest. I mean, I'm crazy, but not that bad. He's lost a bit of time there, hasn't he? Right, jumping on board with Malcolm, because this is still very tasty up front. Yeah. Neither of them taking the late apex there. It's like they're drifting. It's like, again, it's like the tyres are struggling a little bit. This finishes like this. This will probably be one of the closest races we've had in the podium positions, because they have pulled out a gap between them and Chris. I can't see Chris catching them, to be fair, but these two are having quite a good ding dong, I think it's fair to say. Interesting gear change there. Obviously change the gears, get the traction running at the lower revs, especially if the tyres are starting to go off a little bit. And work wonders that. You can see the different approaches to the corners. And definitely Malcolm's got a different exit strategy on the corners compared to Kev. Yeah, that's a perfectly valid point, that, Andreas, about the tyres. I think the last few races we've had, the last 10 minutes have been cars just going off. You can see there Kev is trying to not so much go defensive, but he knows that the slipstream's probably not on at this moment. He's just making sure he's giving Malcolm no air whatsoever. I'm just going to jump to Rayner, because Rayner is closing on Don Queen. So Don's another one who seems to be dropping back a little bit. So again, I wonder if his tyres are starting to go off a little bit. Right, jump on board with Mike Dearlove, because I think Mike Dearlove's just about to take Andy Lee's. Is he going to get it sticking up the side? No, Andy Lee's has managed to hold on to that. So he just didn't have a big enough draft to pass him. Go back to... just jump back to Jack, because Jack Jacobs, I was going to say he was battling. He's just lost a bit of time there. And there's a car wide there. Can't see who that is. There's a car wide. Wasn't an incident, so it's obviously just someone's outbroke themselves a little bit there. Again, not much going on. Peter David is chasing Willie down. I think these two were battling before. Peter started to come back through the field a little bit. I think he was last at one point. Does look like we have lost Harrison. I think Harrison's quit. And there's a bit of a spin there. So let's just watch that again, because I think... just go back and see what happened there. I think there's definitely quite a... I'm not going to say a strong contact, but a contact that's caused certainly one of them to struggle. As Peter was at the back, the chances are he's struggling there. You can see the car. Oh, he's hit the sausage curb. Yeah, you can see he's hit the sausage curb quite aggressively there, and that's caused the car to go out. So he's managed to keep on track just, and it's allowed Willie to carry on as well. Let's go to Hugh. Let's go to Mike Dearlove again. So Mike Dearlove's having another run at Willie. Sorry, at Andy Lee's. And looking at that angle he got then, he did seem to have a better run. And you can see here now the grunt. Although he's eased off a little bit there. Seemed to have the toe, and the toe was working for him. I think he's missed an opportunity there, Mike. I think he could have made that one stick a little bit. Look at the leaderboard from halfway down the grid. Okay, you can see we're currently with Andy Lee's, and you can see the drivers around and what the gaps are between them and the cars around them. Yeah. I think Mike's now coming under pressure from Jeremy. So let's just jump on board with Jeremy. Let's see where this is going to take us. Michel's catching Ruben. I'll keep an eye on that. He's took him. So Michel's took Ruben there. I think Ruben went wide, so I missed that. But second I missed it. Okay, back to where we were. Mike's still battling with Andy. Oh, he's took him up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Just. Or is Andy going to come round the outside? Oh, brilliant. Now that was really good racing. That was really good, clean racing. And you can see that's compromised it now because Jeremy's coming up. Jeremy's getting very interested in what's going on behind them here as well. Some great little battles going on. Even this late in the race when the tyres should be wearing off. It's yeah, it's really interesting. Right, just going to go with Hughes managed to take Peter, so I've just missed that. But basically, Hughes managed to take Peter to move him into what will be 11th place. That's been a battle that's been going on for a good proportion. You can see Peter's got a bit of a draft here. I don't think it's going to be enough to pass him because it's obviously the corner now. Just going to jump on board with Thierry because Thierry's just passed Robert. Again, not like being lastminute.com and me missing it. And there's Robert coming, screaming round the inside. Let's go to the helicam. We'll see how it looks. I've got a feeling there might be a bit of contact here at some point. Getting a bit close there. He nearly hit the sausage curb as well. You could see this car starting to bounce. Okay, I'm just going to jump forward. This is where the action's at. Malcolm's having a really good ding-dong with Kev, but I think he's outbroke himself here. The Bando's in 19th place at the moment, in between a couple of cars. Yeah, I think Kev's just managed to pull a bit of a gap out there. Let's go back to Mike, because Mike's still battling with Andy Lees here. This has turned out to be a really decent battle. And you've got Jeremy sitting there in wait. Anything goes wrong here, you just know Jeremy's going to take it, don't you? This is the battle for 15th place at the moment. I think Andy's missed a couple of races recently as well, so I think he's his first race back after a couple of weeks. I think it's a good showing, to be honest. You see the gap between Jeremy and Mike there as well. So they're definitely pulling away on the straights, aren't they? They don't seem to be catching each other. It's almost like there's no drafting or you know, tow at this moment in time. These are by far the closest from a battle perspective on the grid. A couple similar. Yeah, Don, Rayner and Terry are battling a little bit, but again, there's not much in that. Let's just jump on board with Don because he's getting a bit of grief from Rayner. It's very similar to this battle here. Got a good run there. Is he going to benefit from it and take the inside? Yeah, he's eased off. You could hear him ease off a little bit there. I wonder if he's waiting to see if he can get him on the straight again. Quite a dangerous tactic that, because it doesn't seem to be working. Not many have seemed to make it stick on the straight by the looks of it. Almost like they run out of puff. We've got Mike Dearlove again and Andy. Just quickly switch to this. Looks like Mike Dearlove's got this one nailed this time. And it's forced Andy off. And you can see Jeremy's there to pick up the pieces. Jeremy's going up the inside of Andy there. So, is Andy going up the inside of Jeremy here? Ooh, that was, again, that was close. Respect. Rayner. He's still having a go. Is he going to make it stick? No, he's not. So again, he didn't get the draft. The inside there. This is currently the closest battle. I'm keeping my eye on the front because the front is, shall we say, interesting. There we go. This is where the fun's at. Someone's going to give him this in a minute, isn't it? You just know it. Yeah, this is the closest, semi-closest battle. Still a few good ones going on. We've been at this from the start, these two. Absolutely fantastic viewing. Oh, he's got a good drive there. You can see the angle he took different. It allowed Malcolm to get a good drive. And Mike Deal still half a second. Oh, Mike Deal. Andy Lees is now catching Mike again. Lee Ellis is catching Rayner. I'm going to keep my eye on that. But obviously I just want to focus on this at the moment because this is the battle for first. There's the top at 20 in the table. Jonathan, yes, there is a tow. You can see he's flashing his lights there. Malcolm's flashing his lights. There is definitely a tow. Oh, I felt it in the GT4s the other day. And you can see there's definitely gaining going on here. I don't know how respective it is. What you've got to think about with these cars is they're not as quick as, say, Formula 1 cars. So I think there's a lot of physics going on there in relation to how much air is being moved, but also how much power the cars extra can put down. But there's definitely a draft stroke tow in ACC. Now, I've seen it where you can see a car physically gain. I think it clicks in from 0.4 of a second below. I don't think you get much more than that. I had a good tow at Snetterton as well, actually. I could see the time going down. Oh yeah, there's definitely tow in there. There's not much more. Melvin's giving a bit of pressure to Robert. Robert's currently in 19th. Andy Lees is still applying the pressure to Mike. As you can see here. He's waiting for someone to make a mistake by the looks of it. This is the difficult corner, so... Oh, he's kept it. Jeremy's gone wide as well. The tyres have definitely gone, as you can see there. Jeremy's now giving pressure as well. Melvin's giving a bit of pressure to Robert. Just go to that. Oh, Michelle's gone flying down the outside there. Let's go to the helicam so we can see what's going on with all the... Oh. Right, I'm just going to rewind that back because I think that was put it in the post and send it. I think that was probably a bit too extreme. Let's just watch that again. Because you could see come flying down the outside here of Melvin. Sorry, not Andy, of Melvin. And it's almost like he thought, I can have that, I can have that. He's going really quick there. He's got the power on. You can see there. He was never going to get that to stop. Or either that, he was expecting no one else to turn in. So, yeah, that was really interesting. And it's they're still battling now. Got to go to the front because let's come up to the last lap. And is Malcolm going to go for it? Are they going to get another lap? No, this is it. This is for the win. Oh, I was hoping they weren't going to touch down one, spin the other one out, because that would have been absolute nightmare. He's not going to get the run, is he? Flashing his lights there. I just want to congratulate them two drivers. Guys, if you watch this back, Kevin, Malcolm, respect to you both. That was absolutely awesome. You kept it clean. Didn't seem to be any contact between yourselves. And that was great viewing. From start to finish, you were at each other's, bumpers, really. Well done, guys. That was exceptional. And obviously, we've had Chris Barr coming down into third place as well. So Chris has managed to go through the field quite well there. So really good action on this race. Hope you all managed to enjoy it. And thanks for watching. I will be racing tomorrow in the GT3 from my car on my own YouTube channel. Obviously, I don't expect to win, but hopefully it'll be a bit of fun. I'll try not to nudge you this time, Andreas. Thanks very much, everyone.